We made it to release day. Happy Prismatic Evolutions release day. Maybe for some. Congratulations, first off, if you were able to get any product. I want to tell you guys about my story out in the wild at a Target. And we're also going to talk about the Pokemon Center situation real quick. So I do want to start off by saying that I am apologizing for, I mean, it's not directly my fault, but the Pokemon Center drop didn't really happen so far as of 8:24 a.m. Pacific. And I've been up since 4 a.m. just getting ready. After the journey together dropped at 5:30, I was just like ready. There was tons of people everywhere also waiting for this, right? And it's just kind of unfortunate we've been getting unavailable or errors, the site crashing, all of those things, right? Things have been absolutely wild. To start off the release, we have some prices to talk about, and I'll tell my story. Um, we also have some. This is coming from PokeBeach on Twitter. Now, stay safe out there, guys. Now, this is for the Blooming Waters, or the Blooming Onion, as some call it, the 151 box. Now, there is a little bit of a story behind this video, so just check it out, and we'll talk about it. Yeah. So you can see, obviously, they're getting aggressive over these boxes. Some Costco's limiting per, some not really. And anyways, what I did hear about this story, and I was not able to find the other angle, was that this guy who's grabbing him had these boxes in his hand first. Once again, I haven't been able to confirm this, so just keep that in mind. He had the boxes first, and this guy came and stole them from him. That's why he's grabbing onto him. So I'd be pretty pissed if somebody stole boxes out of my hand too. So take that all with a grain of salt. But my local Costco has not gotten their 151 Blooming Waters yet. So yeah, we got possibly more of this to come. So be safe out there, be smart. Okay, we don't want to see anyone getting hurt. It's not worth it. It's just some cards. But yeah, times are wild though. Times are absolutely insane. We also have some news too. We're gonna talk about some news. This has got a little bit of everything, and then we're gonna jump over to Prismatic. I just wanted to give this Articuno some time in the spotlight. This is from Battle Partners, the Japanese set, which is going to be our journey together. I absolutely love this card. Super stunning. I think this card's going to do really well. It's an art rare in Japanese or an illustration rare in English. Might end up being tough to grade. So yeah, this is going to be a really nice card. Probably heavily sought after, popular Pokemon. We also have, Hops Wooloo. I do like this card a little bit as well. It's not the Whale Lord for me, but just another decent little card to talk about. And then I did want to talk about my experience with Target. So my Target, I had a feeling. Well, I checked Wednesday, Walmart and Target. I went over to my Target yesterday though because I had a feeling that they were going to stock early, and I got there. It was like 11 something, and I walked in and I could not believe it. The stalker was there. The stalker, the MJ Holdings person who was stalking the thing. The lady was there, and they had like ropes set up so you couldn't get over to her. And I kind of like sped walk over there. I didn't really see anyone a line or anything, and I asked her, I was like, hey, do you have the new Pokemon by chance? I was asking very nicely too, like, hey, do you have the new Pokemon? And she goes, no, sorry, we just sold out and it's all gone already. So I was like, dang, I can't believe I even got the time right. Like, what are the odds to even get that? So I left, right? I went and got some food. I get a text like 40 minutes later. My buddy was like, yo, Target's got Prismatic. And I was like, what, how long ago was this? And he goes, 20 minutes ago. So essentially, the lady lied to me and I fell for it. Um, yeah, so dumb on my part. I should have just waited and watched her restock it because I had just assumed that people had already came up. I believed her, and they asked, and she was like, "Okay, here it is," and it was just gone instantly. But I guess she put it out, and my buddy and some other people were there like 15 to 20 minutes after I was there. I would have been the first in line, so I wasn't able to get any prismatic out in the wild. She lied. She lied to me, and I fell for it, man. So hopefully, you guys get a little bit of laughs and entertainment out of my suffering a little bit right there, because that hurts. Like, I mean, it's one thing to like miss the restock. It's another thing to just. I was there. I was in the trenches. And yeah, and today I've been up since 4 a.m. trying to get the Pokemon Center restock, trying to get GameStop, trying to get Best Buy, trying to get anything. So congratulations to you guys who put in the work and got some. I do want to take a look at some Umbreon sales, right? Keep in mind these are once again preliminary sales, right? There's not a lot out there, but there's Umbreon's hitting the market. On eBay, we're seeing $1,800, $2,000, 1,500, 1,750, 2,500, 2,000, 1,900, 1,800. Now, in theory, we should see this price start to come down as more supply enters the market, in theory. But with the market being like in such high demand, it could stay. Maybe there's not enough and it could continue to rise. We don't really know at this point. In the past, these prices would come down. These first few day prices would be highly inflated. But I think this is a totally different scenario. We're also seeing a similar thing on TCG Player. These are being able to be listed now. You can see last sold's a little bit lower than some of those other ones, 1,400, 1,500, 1,500. And I talked a while ago saying that there was a chance that this was going to give the Umbreon a run for its money. And a little too early to say on pre-release or first day of release, right? We do need some more time. Lowest listed, there is one listed at 2,000, right? So that would be above a Moonbreon Raw. Moonbreon Raw is about 1,500 right now currently, and I think around 3,000 in a PSA 10. But there is a silver lining. I also want to go back to the Pokemon Center just for a second. They did have this answer. This was from January 6th. Somebody asked, when will they restock? And a staff did respond saying, and you can interpret this a few ways. Pre-orders that were placed during the pre-order timeframe will begin shipping out in mid-January. So that's the ones that like we got on November 1st, right, when they first dropped the pre-orders. More inventory of this product will become available later this year. Now, that you could take as you're on the Pokemon Center ETB thing. You could take that as, oh, later this year could mean in a few weeks in January, or it could mean, just other Prismatic coming actually later in the year. So kind of up for interpretation a little bit. They didn't exactly specify, but there is some good news on the horizon. Pokemon Center ETBs are coming down off of the TCG pricing. We're seeing it kind of more line up with eBay. This is to be expected. We talked about this happening because, lowest listed is still high. We're seeing $230, $230, and then it goes up into the 260s. But we are well above the $300 and $400 mark that we were seeing before. And, it's just because, look at that drop off. And obviously a ton of sales right here. Only brick and mortar stores were able to list before on TCG Player. That's just a thing that they have, right? So now everyone's able to list, and it becomes a race to the bottom, and then at some point they're going to continue to rise. We're also seeing the Pokemon Stamped EV promo outsell the Snorlax one from 151 as well. So that's super interesting. But yeah, so these are coming down. We have regular ETBs coming down a little bit as well. Once again, these are hard to find in the wild. Like I know too, another example, my brother who lives across the country, he was going out to a GameStop a few hours early to get in line. The GameStop only had 8. He said the line was already around the block by the time he got there a few hours early. And they only had 8 ETBs for the whole store. So obviously supply abysmally low right now. But, they put out that statement, which I feel like was kind of just to save face. Like, I feel like they already have the printers turned up to 100. Maybe that's not true, but we do need something to happen here because this Prismatic situation, people are going to rip this product too. We'll see how many. But yeah, ETBs are down. They were at 150. Now we're down to 130, and that is reflected in the lowest listed. We're pretty much seeing 130 being the low right here on TCG Player for these. And the last solds are lining up, a few in the 120s, right? So more product entering the market, but something to consider. Are we going to see another slingshot up, right? The initial supply comes in, it comes down, people race to the bottom, 130 is the bottom, they sell out, then there's not that many listed, and it continues to run. We could see that potentially before we see a big reprint on the set, possibly. We also have some numbers on other singles as well. We get a rough idea. We have the Sylveon here selling this morning, $726 and $750. Yeah. Wild times, wild prices. Lowest listed right now, you're looking at similar, 720 and 750. Once again, not a lot of copies are going to be on TCG Player. That is okay, right? The Espeon wasn't pulling up for me on TCG, so I went over to eBay. 430, 550. last solds on the Espeon. There's even a 300 down here, which I think might be a little low, and a 280, because I do like this Espeon a lot. You got a 730 here as well. So Espeon, I'd probably put this at this as the second tiered evolution in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree. Let me know in the comments. We're also seeing the Leafeon sales on TCG. 500, 450, 500. Supply and demand is going to play a big part here, right? There's just not a lot available. Lowest listed is, it goes from 500, and then after a few copies, we're up to 750. So we'll see how quickly these sell. We've already seen just the 3 sales today and 5 available. So something to keep an eye on. We've also seen the Gold Pikachu selling. This one, the same design as the Surging Sparks, but just like different color palette. Kind of hard to see in this photo. I haven't seen this card in person. I'm assuming it looks a lot better. But even on this guy, $325, only one sale. $325. Lowest listed from a starred seller is $275. If you want to buy from this seller, you're at $235, and then pretty quickly after that, you're just under $300. Right? That's just the current market, right? And it might be time just to let some things ride out, let some things play out, and maybe wait for some other product to enter the market if you're looking at picking up some of these. But I will say this: if you have to have some of these cards, I don't think ripping the product is the way to go. With the current price of the packs, the current price of the boxes, and the tough pull rates, it's probably just not going to be worth it. We have the Eevee here on TCG even selling at, I don't know what this $15 sale was. That must be Japanese, possibly. 217. 217 on the Eevee, with lowest listed higher than that. 275 and 300 on the Eevee. We even have, so the Roaring Moon has not sold yet. This is one I've been keeping my eye on because artwork wise, this is definitely one of my favorites from the set, and I feel like this card has some big potential. I really like this card a lot. But lowest listed on here as of this morning, we're seeing 225 and a few in the 250s, and then after that we're seeing pretty much 500. So we'll see if this card gets those kind of sales, the $500 sales, but just another thing to keep an eye on, kind of understand what's going on. Then we have the promo. So this is the, you can see the Pokemon Center stamp right here. We've been talking about this a little bit in the live streams and some recent videos, comparing it to the Snorlax, like where is this going to go? Where's the PC ETB going to go? And I kind of was like, well, Snorlax, the gauge. Well, and it's early still, but last solds have gone up 125, 135, 150, with lowest listeds being higher than that now at 185, 195, and then 200. So you would think if this holds around if it ends up being around 200, which you would think some people will open their PC ETBs, I think a lot will be getting delivered today for some people who got them. Then you're going to see more flood the market, right? And they're going to do that same thing. They're going to undercut. But if for some weird reason it holds, then you're probably going to see the PC ETB shoot back up, because I don't think you can't sell these for 220 when the promo alone's going for 200, right? So we need more time to shake these things out, but it is interesting to note of like where things are at. Yeah, there was also, like, I did have an opportunity this morning to go to there's like a comic store a few towns away that I was going to go to, and they were gonna but they had 4 ETBs, I heard 4. And we were gonna go early, like an hour early, but yeah, I decided not to even risk it. I think people are probably already lined up for those boxes as well. We had the Discord server was popping off today. We had one guy in line at his Target like hours and hours early by himself. He had his lawn chair. Everyone was trying to get into the online orders, obviously, trying to get the Pokemon Center. Now, there is still a chance that maybe while you're watching this video or after, maybe those Pokemon Center ETB orders did go live. Like, I cannot guarantee that. Oh, also, sorry, I have something really funny that I do want to address as well. I realized this is early on in the channel that I hadn't really ever said my name, and somebody pointed this out to me recently, and and then nobody ever asked, so I just kind of ran with it. Like, it wasn't really a big deal. I wasn't trying to hide my name. So I need to incorporate that probably into the intros a little bit more. But for those who haven't met me, which apparently is all of you, hi, my name is TJ. I run the It Was Never Phase channel. So we got that out of the way. But hey, it wasn't like a gag or something I was trying to do. But yeah, I got a DM from somebody in the Discord server, great guy, and he was like, do you not want people to know your name?" And I was like, just it went on so long and no one asked that I just kind of like never mentioned it. But yeah, so maybe something I should mention a little bit more. But you guys can call me whatever you like, TJ Phase, whatever, no big deal. So yeah, I just think that's funny. So, but yeah, my target thing was really brutal. I did learn a lot from that. I wish I would have just sat there and watched her restock everything. It looked like at the time she was really working on the sports cards, and that was looking real nice. It was real full, and the Pokemon stuff was empty. And I thought, man, it all got taken. But naivety on my part, and I also saw some people in the comments. They were saying that, and I don't know if this is true, if anyone can back it up, but they are told to, if anyone asks, just say no to prevent like line waiting and stuff. And I was like, man, that's shady. I mean, I don't know. So I'm still a little salty about it, but I'm not torn up. But like, man, I timed it right. That's the part. Like, I was there at the right time, being kind too. Like, that's another thing too. Just to reiterate, we saw the Costco video. Just try and be kind to people. Understand that other people are trying to get the product there, and there are bad people out there, right? With bad intentions. Try to be a little bit more of a shining ray of light whenever possible. I know that might sound a little cheesy, but just try and be something good for the community, okay? Um, but in summary, that's all I got for this one, guys. Yeah, good luck to everyone out there. Hopefully you got some product. But yeah, I'm pretty much getting cooked on my end, which is fine. It is what it is. I've kind of come to accept it. Hopefully that Pokemon actually like lives up to what they said and they're actually going to print this proper. So we'll see. But I'm not holding my breath for that. I really am not. I feel like that was just damage control, but it'd be nice. So yeah, I guess my name's TJ. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.